this height it goes anyway, but like the closer to you get it, actually the less like your joint has to kind of deal with. So generally speaking, I'll go a little bit higher up. In terms of, this is the most important thing on here, right? So see, I'm going to hold this up here. I'm going to take a weight off actually. Then I'm going to hold it up here. So keep your legs where they are. Now bring your legs up at that. And slowly come down. Go all the way down. And slowly come back up. We'll do it again, one more time. We're probably not too bad there. I'll probably just like turn that in a little bit. Not so much that one. Let's try that. We'll slowly go down. And then come up. One more time. I need to look at this one again. Okay, we're not bad. What we're trying to look for there is his knees hinging the same way as the machine. The machine is only going to go straight forward. So like a door hinge, it needs to be hinging in one direction. If someone sits on a bench like, or on one of them like this, and my knees want that to go diagonal, well, I'm not pushing straight onto that, and my joint's not in the same line as the machine. So my knees aren't going to like that very much. It's like if you go over at the door and you hang off one side of it, the hinges aren't going to like it very much. So again, it's looking at.
I feel always, moving on that feels different to that one.
Yeah, well, that was a knee that I tried to move there, and again, I'm not convinced that's 100% either. Go back down again. I feel like that needs to come there. Try that. It's better. See that one again? Let's see if there's any movement in that at all. Good, right. Yeah, just where it was. So it's like, in terms of like when we're adjusting that, we're just rotating from the hip almost till we find that point where like this is all basically straight. It's like a straight hinge almost, if that makes sense. See it one more time there. And then is he able to lock out his legs? I think he could lock out a little bit more if we bring that seat back. So let's slowly bring it down and bring the seat back one or two. That's maybe a bit much. Try that. Try that. Yeah, he can lock out his legs a bit better. Right, let's start being nasty. What's your usual working weight in this? Is that you relaxing, by the way? Yeah. Are you like relaxed? Right, so see this gap here, right? So this machine hasn't got any adjustment in the starting point, but Neil's muscles, like in a relaxed state, kind of want to be there, right? So if we could go like that, we could force him back into that position, or we could just lift it a tiny bit. Oh no, lift it, sorry, a tiny bit. Like relax your legs again, up a tiny wee bit. Or we could do that, right? And what that does, it means the weight's not going to kick in until his joints are happy for it to kick in. For some reason, his leg doesn't really want to be back there. So we're not going to force it, because that's enough range anyway. But you're going to need slightly more weight than that. Start with that, and we'll just get a warm-up set up. Yeah, just start, get going. Make sure that knee's staying in place. Make sure we're getting right to the top, because this muscle, or not this muscle, this exercise, the main aim of it is to get the quads quite short. So like that is the short position at the top. That's what we're aiming to get to. Yeah, basically. Unless you can like hyperextend your leg, then we need to be a little bit careful. But at the end of the day, the weights try to push you back down. So like, I don't necessarily see that being that much of an issue on this one. When the resistance is coming this way, it's different on that one. When the resistance, like the hamstring curl, with the resistance would push you into hyperextension. That's a bit different. How's that feeling? All right. Same as everything else though. So contract first, squeeze these first, and now move. And keep them tight the whole way down. Now keep contracting. Don't let go of them. Big squeeze. Let's get more weight.
Even like that seat position, I was always
try to keep it.
So all you're doing back doing it backwards, just lifting the hips up a little. The more you sit forward, I think if you go like that, try to lift your leg, it's only going to go so far. If you're up here, it's going to have a lot more weight. All you're doing is
I can feel I can get a lot more straight.
Yeah.
Maybe getting there.
Do you feel tightness in your hamstrings when you bring it forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what happens. It's like the muscle on the other side is run out of length because the hamstrings attach onto the hips. So when your hips forward like that, the hamstrings are getting stretched, and then when your legs straight, the hamstrings are getting stretched. So they're running out of length, so they're like, we can't go any further. So the muscles on the other side matter quite a lot as well. It's a lot to think about though.
See on this one, when I'm doing this, I find that my, almost like my bum comes off the seat when I'm like doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just too heavy or I don't have the strength in my legs to lift it up, lift it. But see,
either way. Like you're kind of opening up your hip and you're trying to give yourself more length on that hamstring at the back because you're running out of it. Could be that. We'll try it and see. Does that still feel quite easy now? That's what you're here for.
There is also an element of getting weight while at some point be heavy. It's going to lift you up slightly, so that's where you
You do the stack of this?
rapid resistance bar round.
The most I've done probably 112.
We'll go the stack then. Although the only thing is we're going to have to force you back for that one.
Resistance band, I think Connor's got seatbelts in there that you can strap on your arm.
Good shout, Gav. We've added more stability, so like again his hips are a bit more stable, so the more stability we've got, the more those muscles are going to be able to produce force. It's like you wouldn't squat on a trampoline, would you? Wouldn't be very good. So he's now got that extra bit of support and stability. So let's give it a go, Neil. Let's see how we get on. Get that easy enough. Full stack as well. So just slow it down. So we're going to go 4 seconds on the way down, 1 second at the bottom, 2 or 3 on the way up. Oh, and 2 or 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like pause. Now go 1, 2. That'll do. Now we're working. This is just the start of the set.
Oh. Just wait till the next leg drops in.
He's not joking. Still easy enough though. Good, right, I'm going to give you a little bit now. So this machine only drops off by about 20%, which clearly isn't enough, so it's getting harder at the top where he's weaker. Good, slow it down, good, keep it controlled. And again, big push. Let's hope there's not a fire, right? And again, come on. Strong, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. You've got loads more at this weight. We're only just getting started. And again, come on, big push. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting about your little operation. For anyone that doesn't know, Gav had a little operation on a very private area recently. So yeah, he's a bit tender down there.
Lunch is taken off.
We'll say that. If that makes you feel better, Gav, whatever. Can you shuffle down a wee bit actually, just so I can get some? Yes, so I can get some tension from the start. Right, so how far back does his leg want to come? Ah, loads. You might want to shuffle down even a little bit more. Yeah, right. So I'm just bringing it down a little bit. What he can do now is he can just extend his leg into the floor. And that's essentially a leg extension. We've created the same thing just with the cables. Except Gav's got super silky legs apparently. But you can almost see how it's exactly the same thing because the weight is on his shin and all he's trying to do is extend his leg. He's got a well more open hip here, so you're not going to run into the issues that you're running into in that. But this actually gets easier at this position and harder at this position because the cable's getting closer to his joint really. So you can see it's further away there, and as he extends into the floor, it gets easier there. But it can be a bit awkward set up by yourself. That is. So if you come off at Gav, I'll have a go at setting this up by myself with no sling and just show you how I would struggle my way into it. Right, so leg press. This one has a bit of adjustment on the back. A lot of people don't realise it's even here. So if I can get it, there we go. So you can change the angle of the seat, right? And what that's done all of a sudden, you can see that that's almost like closed this angle up. This is now like closer to 80 degrees. Whereas like if I bring it down to the bottom, it's opened it up a bit more, right? So for someone like me that's got stecky hips, I'm actually just going to show you. There we go. So what we would do in a leg press is we would check our range of motion by putting our feet up on the actual plate and then pulling your knee back towards your chest sort of thing. That's as far as that hip's going. So see, that's all the range of motion I've got there. That'd be the bottom of the movement for me there. That's actually even worse. That's fucking terrible. Now if I bring my feet in here, it's probably worse again. Got next to nothing. So for me, there's there, so that's my leg press. That's not doing a hell of a lot, is it? It's actually terrible. If I keep coming down, my bum's starting to lift off here, my back's starting to round, and it could potentially lead to something in my lower back. It's happened to me before where I've went super deep on a leg press, rounded through there, and the next thing I've had like back pain for like a couple of weeks after it. So if I open this up now, since my hips are sticky, I'm now starting with like a more open hip position, and although it's not a hell of a lot more, it is more. I'm getting more range of motion there. I'm down to about this point now. Same on that side. Still at this point, I've not got that much. So what that tells me is that actually my hip has more movement than structurally. At this point, with my toes pointed out, my feet wide, I've got more range of motion there than I do there. So then I'm always going to go for that wider stance. So I can see that I can get down to there with that foot, down to there with that foot, that's about the same. So I now know when I'm leg pressing, I'm coming down to about there, and that's fine. Again, if I exceed that though, same thing's going to happen. If I get all the way down there, my lower back's rounding. One more thing we can do to this, which is even cooler. Our old friend, the ab pad, is coming back out. This thing. So we can actually open up that hip angle again by raising the seat height. So now, I can get slightly further again. Using that as a benchmark, that's what I was getting to before. I can get slightly further again. So my leg press all of a sudden has went from being next to nothing to down there, which is pretty cool. My lower back's still nice and tight on there. We're not feeling any rounding through it. And now I've actually got a semi-acceptable leg press, which is pretty cool. So we kind of need to figure that out for each person that goes on to this. So, I'm ahead. We'll do it without this first and we'll just check. So put your feet just in your comfy position to start with. If you were away to do a squat or something, where would they usually go? And don't even think about moving this yet. Just pull one of your knees back. Okay, so we've got down to there. Let's try that. Okay, so let's do that one again. So bring this one back on. And then let's do this one again. Got a slight difference between sides there, don't we? So this one's got less than this one. So what about if you move this foot position or the leg position? Try that. Keep that one the same and pull this one back. Not getting any better. Bring it further in. Yeah, try that. Nah, not getting any better. Go slightly wider this time then. Like with that foot only, sorry. Point your toes out more. Pull back. Yeah, we're not really getting much more than that. So when one leg is getting less range of motion than the other, we're going to have to go with this leg. We can't like go further just because this one's got it. So we have to go with that. Now, let's try this and see if that helps you out at all. That's quite common, by the way. I've seen that more often than not, where one's worse than the other. There's quite a noticeable difference there as well, because mine's had a little difference, but that was quite noticeable. So let's try that now. Yeah, getting a bit more now, aren't we? Yeah. Let's try this one more time. It's not far off evening it up, to be fair. That's made a big difference for some reason, so we'll go with that. So now, obviously, we're going to unrack it. So push up and then pull these handles in. The only thing for her is that's took her a little bit further away from that, so like it's making it a little bit harder to unrack. Now, if you want to just go down into that, in fact, do some reps, because I need to go grab something for this. Nice bright orange line here. Can you stay at the bottom for a second?
Sorry?
Can you stay at the bottom there, so we'll come down to the bottom? So what muscles would you say is working the most here out of our quads and our glutes? Anyone know? Or anyone got a guess? So she's pushing in there. Where are you pushing your weight? Back there or back there? Through there. So something like that. So the distance between the line and her hip is next to nothing. But look at that distance to the knee. So actually, her thighs are doing a hell of a lot of the work. Arguably, because of the shape of this, she might be pushing up a little bit more there. So it might be a bit more like that. But that's quite a quaddy leg press, if you ask me. And she can make that more quaddy by pushing up even harder on there. So like we were doing over there, you want to slowly come down for 4 seconds and really push up into the top there. So again, push up into my hands, slowly down. Slowly down, that's it. Don't worry if the heels lift. And push up into my hand, like as you come back up as well. Good, that's it. And slowly come down. Might not even need any weight here. Like push, just watch your depth there, maybe coming a little deeper than we need to. Good. The minute you feel your bum lifting off that seat, that's far enough, okay? And slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a pause and push. Good. How's that feeling? Yeah. All right, easy.
No, it's not hard. It's just
Drive up into our fingers.
focus.
Make sure you're pushing into our fingers here. Good. Slowly down. Bring your heels down a little bit. And push. You're going to automatically, on this leg press, you're going to automatically get a bit of pushing up anyway because of the angle of it, but bring your heels down a little bit. It's maybe a bit too much there. And push up. Strong. Give me 5 more there, just for the fun of it. We'll get someone else to jump on this next and we'll see how quaddy or how glutey their leg press is. Now try it without pushing up and just see how that feels. Does that feel any different to when you were pushing up? Yeah, so just like we're doing over there, if you push up onto it, it makes it a bit more quaddy again. Could we make it more glutey for her? Yeah, it wouldn't necessarily change much. If you bring your feet up a little bit, Desiree, and this time push your weight through the upper back, which actually might be easier achieved with the seat up. So if we do that and we change, if you come to the bottom now, if we change where she's pushing the foot back, that can change things completely. Because like again, she's intending to push back through there. If she was in this position and still intending to push back through there, that could change, wouldn't change much, sorry. But if she's trying to push back through there, that changes a lot of things. So your intention can change in exercise. You can come off that now, by the way.